Hello, world. We're the Free Agents Brass Band.
Free agents,
Right here live on what?
Cat TV.
Cat TV.
baby.
Yeah, that's us.
Welcome to Cat TV. This is Studio B. Can you guys say what you're in town for this weekend?
Well, we're in town for the True Folks Festival. Film festival. We're here to bring the musical part from New Orleans and enhance things up here for y'all, you know?
Is this your first time in Columbia?
Yes, it is.
What do you
As
guys?
a band.
What do you mean?
I came last year. I came on a trip last year with another band. That's hired help. But as a band, yeah, Free Agents South First.
What do you guys think of Columbia?
It's cold.
Cool.
Cold or cool?
Cold and cool.
Both. Yeah,
What do you like about it?
It's clean.
Yeah.
very clean.
Very clean.
And you see that the city's like progressing, you know, at home. I mean, we still have areas of the city that's like not all the way back up and it's no civilization, you know, in some parts. But here, it's popping. You know, you like to see that kind of stuff.
And even though it's not major city, but you know the togetherness and the closeness is a real close family knit, you know, real laid back atmosphere. Everybody, the nightlife is, oh my goodness. It ends a little bit early, but you know, other than that, I mean, it's a real good, you know, real good atmosphere. Positive energy is flowing through Columbia right now. Yeah.
What have you guys been doing at the festival?
Doing what we do, play music. We did yesterday. We did a club, and we also did a little. Y'all call it a march, but we call it a parade around town. And it was nice, and it seemed like the people enjoyed it. They enjoyed themselves.
So you guys play a lot of parades?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of parades. Yeah.
We specialize in that.
Yeah.
Culture.
You know.
How long typically?
The average parade
Yeah.
in New Orleans, 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
So this one yesterday.
Was a lightweight.
No, that was yeah. That
20
was
minutes.
It
Yeah,
a
that
little
was
small
a little
job.
power pack.
That's a
parade.
couple of blocks.
Pal pack.
You ain't get it to a stop.
Wow. Okay.
How long you guys been together as a group?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
4 years.
This band started after Hurricane Katrina.
Okay.
So
Everybody was a seasoned musician. It's just that we were all like kind of like free agents, scattered around the United States because it was like a void for musicians in the city. People were calling for gigs, but there weren't any bands down there. So this group of individuals, we were all together. We weren't together really, but we hooked up like a couple of months after the storm, and found ourselves getting the same group all the time. So we just stuck with it, called it Free Agents.
What's the music scene like down in New Orleans post Katrina?
It's popping. I mean, there's a lot of musicians down there now. A lot of musicians. Cats come from out of town and try to make New Orleans home, you know, to get a feeling of, I guess, like what we experienced. And that each one of our experiences is different.
right.
You know, we from a certain era, was from a different era, Percy and Mix from a different era, you know. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's a $1 billion industry or nothing down there with money as far as, I mean, musicians as far as we're concerned, but it's all right. I mean, you
It's a
can make
lucrative
living.
business though.
Yeah, you can make a living.
Yeah.
How does being from different eras factor into you guys playing as a group to the music you guys produce?
Yeah, my era is just more experienced. In their area is more modern. So it's like a mixture of old school and new school in our music. So that's the difference.
And how long have you been playing in New Orleans, I guess? You said you're from an
No,
older...
I've been playing 38 years.
I know you guys are playing all over the festival, and people can catch your shows here, playing before movies here. Like you said, you played the parade, you played the action party last night at Tonic. Where can people find your music otherwise?
Online at MySpace. You can catch samples of our music on our MySpace page, and that's Free Agents Brass Band. What is it? Backslash MySpace.com.
MySpace / Free Agents.
Yeah, MySpace /
Mm-hmm.
Free Agents. Free Agents
Brass Band, yeah.
And that's AGENTS. Free Agents.
For those people who are unfortunate enough not to catch your live show, either today or yesterday, how would you describe it?
Sorry for them. They missing out on something big.
Full of energy.
They
Full
missing
of
out.
energy.
Yeah, it's like
They missing
fun
out, man.
feel, energized, real live, just good music.
I mean, it's a good feeling to go somewhere else and play your music and be received by the people that you're playing for. I mean, the people that we play for in New Orleans, it's a week in and week out thing, 365 days a year. Somebody's playing music somewhere. So, you know, it's the culture there is they're accustomed to hearing the music on a weekly basis. Versus you go somewhere else and, you know, sometimes it's received, sometimes it's not. We've been to some places and played and you can't get the people to clap, nobody won't move. So, you know, it was a good feeling to be received and to be received well. I mean, as far as the music is concerned, because a lot of times we can't convey the music to certain. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people don't receive it, but it's, you know, they're not used to. Well, I guess we're not used to that response where people won't respond by clapping or dancing or what have you. Because in New Orleans, the type of music that we play is sort of like considered like a voodoo almost. You hear the beat of the drum, and everything else stops. You know, and it's a serious party. We're talking about the parades. You have a parade in the city of New Orleans every Sunday. What is from March all the way through November or something like that. So, you know, and it's just one of those things. I mean, you really have to come down and see the culture firsthand, and it's a good experience to get it elsewhere, but you have to experience it in its natural habitat to really understand why when we go out and play, you know, somebody might be playing with their eyes closed, but, you know, you might say, well, they're not paying attention to the people, but they're just so into what they're playing. It's like, you know, the music takes over you.
And how's it different playing here in Columbia than back home?
Well, I mean, like I said, Columbia we've been well received here, so we kind of feel like we're at home. You know what I'm saying? Just for the people to dance and clap and have a good time. That really, you know, I mean, you talk about when you go out of country. I don't care where you go outside of the United States. People know the music; they'll sing it word for word with you. But a lot of places within the United States, they're not really, you know, they don't really know what's going on as far as with that particular culture. And I'm more than sure that there's many cultures that's within the United States that we're not aware of or that we can't relate to because we haven't been exposed to them. So the exposure is the big thing. That's, you know, and, you know, we wanted to send out thanks to True False for allowing us to expose Columbia to that, you know, that atmosphere of music, because I tell you, man, they have a lot of people that go to New Orleans and they move there because of the music atmosphere. We were talking about in the club last night when they shut down at 1:30. You know, we were saying some nights in New Orleans you're just getting dressed to go to the club at 1:30. So, you know, but like I said, it's, you know, it was a good atmosphere and we've been well received there. We thank Columbia for having us here.
You mentioned playing abroad internationally. Have you guys played outside of the U.S.?
Oh
quite a
yeah,
bit?
I mean
Many times.
I mean, he's been playing 38 years versus my 16 or 17 years. So, you know, I'm more than sure he's been a lot more places than I have. But everybody up here has international traveling experience with just going out doing what we love to do, playing music.
The free agents, have you guys
Yeah,
had
free
shows?
agents have made 2 trips so far as an entire unit. But when you talk about individuals in the band, New Orleans musicians culture, I mean, we're kind of all playing the same thing. Most of the bands play it different ways, but we're all really playing the same thing, and it's all starts from the traditional brass band music, and that's when you go overseas, that's what you're gonna play. That's what the people are looking to hear. So,
Most of the time, that's what they want.
yeah, you know, that's what they're requesting. So you might get an opportunity to go and play with another band, even though you're a member with this band. Will say, hey, well, I'm missing this piece. I need a, you know, and you get an opportunity to do a lot of traveling. And it's so many gigs that there's musicians that live in New Orleans that spend more of their time away than they do at home. So, you know, it's a real big industry, and it's since Katrina, it's really being exposed on what's going on within the New Orleans music culture. Yeah, and there's some things that are coming up. I don't want to mention any networks or anything like that, but there's some future things that's coming up now that are, documentaries and all that are being recorded in New Orleans to present to the world. Hey, there's a music culture here, and I don't necessarily say that it's the world we're being exposed to, because the world know the music, but within our own cluster, within the United States, there's some places that haven't been exposed to, what we do, and I think it's time that we really get this out of here and get it out to everybody, And that's the same with any other genre of music or any other culture of music that's within the United States. We need to be exposed to it so we could accept it and respect it all within the same light.
Why do you think that it's struggled to become so pervasive in the U.S.?
Well, I don't know if it's the ignorance of, it's like casinos. A lot of people associate certain things with, the culture that it's surrounded with. There's some people have placed a negative stamp on the kind of music that we play, and they associate the music that we play with things that are negative. I'm talking about people within New Orleans. You have people that come in the city and say, we don't want that around here, and it's been the culture for the city for the last, ever since the city has been there. So
Not only that, to add on to what he's saying, but like people don't know how to promote it.
right,
People don't know how to promote
Right.
it. Like once you say jazz, people are automatically thinking it's just, straight ahead.
Bebop,
straight
yeah.
jazz, but that's not the case with it.
and it's a type of jazz, but it has more of a Caribbean vibe. It has more of a African drum beat. So it's a blend of musical cultures within itself. But when you're talking about trying to convey that for it to be marketable to everybody, I guess that's the main thing. It's not something that a lot of people can market because it's not something that someone can pick up somewhere else and say, oh, I'm gonna do this, because you have to really grow up in everybody here grew up from kids hearing the music and being exposed to it. So it kind of grew on us as we got older, and then even our kids now, they're exposed to the music. So somewhere else might say, somebody else somewhere else may say, well, we want to try to do this type of music. And I think, with it being so tied into the culture of New Orleans, it's kind of hard for the outside to accept that this is a lucrative, this is the thing that if somebody decided to really get behind the type of music that we play and really market it the right way, man, somebody really do themselves a good thing. But outside of that, a lot of people don't really know the steps to take because there's so many bands. You might have 30 bands in the city of New Orleans right now. And I'm talking about kids that have listened to us play, and we were once kids listening to these guys playing. So it's a constant, ongoing thing.
It seems like there's a lot of like a network of musicians and stuff through families and tradition like that. Did you guys grow up all in families that were musicians, or?
Or even if they weren't musicians, the type of music that we play, like I said, there's always a parade, you were going to be exposed to it because the parades are all over the city. So at some point in time, you're going to be exposed to it. So you may not be a musician. You might just be somebody that likes to hear the music.
Playing churches,
You know?
so you might have family. Like my grandfather, one of my grandfathers, he was a preacher. And we had an organ in our house and all that kind of stuff. He played drums in the church. They play in the church on Sunday. He sang. He was a preacher, matter of fact.
Right.
But yeah, the music is all around. It's around everybody. And in closing, we'd like to say thank y'all for having us. Hopefully we'll be back next year. And if y'all need to check us out, you can look us up on YouTube, MySpace. We also got a Facebook page too, Free Agents Brass Band. That's it? We covered everything?